Hey guys, I realized I never did individual fan videos here. So since the TAT's on its own control, it gets its own video. So here's the TAT control on the left there. It's a KB Electronics control. It seems to have some sort of something wrong with it because the low speed trim is on the very, very lowest setting. And as we know, this TAT needs quite a boosted low speed trim, so it just seems like for some reason it doesn't have the range it should. But it seems to be working fine for the TAT. Got a control with an apparent issue and a fan with an apparent issue, and they seem to work fine. I might swap it out and see if I can get a slower low speed, but this is actually fine because it's still slower than the slowest low speed I can get on the Four Seasons. So that's the lowest speed, and I just have to kind of eyeball where a quarter turn would be, like that. You can hear it humming a little bit. It's not silent. It's not horribly loud either. Wouldn't want it in my bedroom, but you know, it would probably be fine for the kitchen. Do another quarter turn. And then one more quarter turn should take us to high. I did up the capacitor in here from a 2.5 to a 4, and surprisingly it drew less current with the 4 than it did with the 2.5. I was not expecting that. So I may be testing it again at some point, try to get to the bottom of that. It's a good little air mover though. Even with the original cap, it wasn't a bad air mover. It's definitely better now. Again, you never want to mess with capacitor values unless you have an amp meter. Otherwise, just replace it with the value that's in there and call it a day, because otherwise you'll risk burning something. It's hard for me to gauge the air movement because it's so windy in here. I suppose if I shut the garage door. This door is propped open because my dad's doing the storm windows, which is why this project had to be completed this week, because he needed to access his storm windows. They were buried. I'll just sit here on the steps and see what I feel for air. I feel some breeze from it. Okay. Spin down. A little bit of bearing noise, wet bearing noise. I lithium greased it up in hopes that that would help. So far it hasn't, but maybe it's helped a little bit. It just hasn't solved the problem. Certainly does look different in here with the door closed. There's a much bigger gap over there, and those lights seem brighter because they don't have louvers on them. Louvers wouldn't fit above the garage door. Thought about putting regular shop lights up there, but I thought these were cooler. You know, they're all the same fixture, just some have the louvers. Okay, that's the little TAT.